now we are going to control the behavior of our website in small screens. So we're going to start with the carousel slider, and we're going to set the image size in small screens, as well as the font size of the headings. And then we're going to move to the background video. So as mentioned before, the background video is not going to work in small screens. So we're going to need to replace this with a picture. Okay, so let's have a look at the final website and understand the behavior of our websites in small screens. So if we start from large devices and we start reducing the width of our web page, we're going to have two breaking points. So the first one is going to be at 768 pixels. And you will notice that the height of the pictures has been reduced. And also the font size of the headings inside the carousel has been reduced as well. And if we carry on, then we're going to have another breaking point at 400 pixels, where the image size changes. So the height has been reduced as well, and also the heading font size has been reduced. Okay. Another thing, you will notice that the font size of the navbar brand is going to change at 400 pixels as well. Okay. At the moment, if you look at our website, if we keep reducing the width, at some point we end up with two lines, one line for the navbar brand and another line for the toggle button. But we don't have that for the final website. Okay. All right. Now let's implement this by going to the CSS file. So we're going to be using media queries. Okay. So we're going to start with devices under 768. So we're going to use the syntax that we used before for media queries. So at media, and then inside parentheses, we're going to set the condition. So maximum width of 768 pixels. And then between curly brackets, we are going to write our styling there. So we want the images inside the carousel slider to have a specific height. Okay. So to do this, we are going to access the carousel inner, and then the item using the item class, and then the image. Okay. And we're going to set the height of the image to 300. Originally it's 400. But at the first breaking point, we are going to change that to 300. And also we're going to do the same thing for the heading font size. Okay. And we're going to change its font size to 23 pixels. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing for devices under 400 pixels. So this time the height of the image is going to become 200, and the font size of the headings is going to become 17 pixels. Okay. And if we look at the navbar brand, okay, we are going to change that by changing its font size. So to access it, we're going to go first to the navbar custom, and then inside that we are accessing the navbar brand. Okay, so we are setting the font size to 12 pixels. Okay, if we use only navbar brand, that's going to be enough. Okay, so let's have a look at our website now and see if this is working. So if we start reducing the width of the screen, so you can see the first breaking points. Okay, so both the height of the image and the heading font size changed, and then at 400 pixels, the height of the image changes as well. Okay, and the heading font size changes as well. And if we look at the nav brand or navbar brand, we can see that at 400 pixels, the font size changes. Okay. Now let's look at the background video in devices under 768 pixels. So let's copy this code and go to the background video section for small devices. Okay. So for devices under 768 pixels, we are going to use a background picture rather than the background video. So let's delete the styling and style the body element. Okay. So we're going to give it a background property. Also, we will need to hide the video. So let's access the video using its ID, which is background video, and hide it using the display property. Okay. So we are going to set the background property of the video using a picture. So to do that, we're going to use a nice website, pexels.com, where we can find free pictures. So the picture I'm going to be using is this one. Okay. So I'm just going to copy the URL inside the background property. Okay. So we are going to center the background image using the values center and center, and also we're going to make it fixed as we've done in several projects before. And finally, we are going to set the background size to cover. Okay. So this will make the image span across the web page. Okay. So now let's try this. So in live screens, we've got our background video, and once we go under 768 pixels, okay, we see this.